I'm about to say something that a lot of people may not like to hear. Something that I understand if you want to unsubscribe, and I don't blame you for it. So here it goes. This new Doom game's amazing. I'm sorry, I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it, okay? I love this game. I think it's good. I think it's a good game, okay? I'll be the first to say it. Alright? And you know what? One more thing. I think it's the best one. Maybe not, but it's really good. In all seriousness though, this game is really, really amazing and was something I just had to talk about. So this is my review of Doom: The Dark Ages. Now before I get into it, there are some pretty heavy spoilers in this. I'll be talking specifics about bosses and areas. So if you want to go into this completely blind, play the game first and then watch this video. The Doom franchise is one of my favorites in gaming ever. For me, this trilogy of games I put up there with the Dark Souls and the God of War trilogy. Is it clear that I haven't played a lot of games? It's a really interesting trilogy where every game has its own unique aesthetic and gameplay style, and is something that I could probably touch on in a future video. If you're interested, maybe let me know in the comments. And this one is probably the most unique of them all. One of the things I love about this game is the aesthetic. Going from Doom 2016 to Eternal kind of felt like whiplash. Going from this dirty and gritty world to an almost cartoonish and polished world was a big downgrade in my opinion, and that was rectified in this game. The environments are so gritty, it was really nice to get back to that. You also get to visit the Cosmic Realm, which was really interesting and made way for some really interesting puzzles. And you get to see Cthulhu, who was really fucking scary. The music in this game, as with the others, really, really good, but definitely a noticeable step down from 2016 in Eternal, so shout out to Mick Gordon and Justice for that, man. This is just an aside from the review, so I'm taking a little break from the review. I know we're only just started, but it's a little break. So, I was very excited for this game. I got the premium edition so I could play it earlier than everyone else. And I went into town just for this game. I live in a rural area. I went into town just to get this game. But it turns out that the disc doesn't even have the fucking game on it. I had to download it. I couldn't just put the disc in, have a copy on my PS5, and play it. I had to download it, so I had to wait a full fucking day for it to bloody work, to play it. And don't normalize this bullshit. Absolute bullshit. This fucking corporate bullshit. I got hair in my mouth trying to talk about this. I still like the game though. Apologies for the rant, but back to it. This game is also very story heavy, surprisingly, compared to the other two, and it was a really nice change. I always loved the cutscenes from the other games, so seeing a more fleshed out story was really exciting and didn't really disappoint at all. We're able to get more of an insight into the Doomslayer's relationship with humans, and I thought that was really, really nice to see. Now, onto what I'd say is the strongest quality of these games, the gameplay. Dark Ages really is the black sheep out of the three when it comes to it, as it takes the aspect of parrying from Eternal and makes it a lot more of a central mechanic, rather than just an interruption of attack. Of course, in turn, this does slow down the movement, but let me tell you about game speed. This one setting changes everything for this game, because without it you feel like an old man walking around and parrying everything. And this one change makes it so much more fun and really allows you to think about your positioning while you're shooting the shit out of some demons. That brings me to the next addition with the gameplay, and that is the shield. With your shield you can block, parry, dash and throw it, and with bigger enemies it'll continuously saw them. You also gain runes as you go in the game, which allow for extra damage or stun when parrying a projectile. And the shield and parrying in general is really, really fun as hell. While I can see people having different preferences when it comes to stuff like this, it is something that I absolutely love and has really made the game so much more replayable for me. I just love the technical aspects of this game, where it really feels like I have to be thinking about where I am the whole way through. Even with all these new features, the weapons are the absolute star of the show once again. All the weapons are really fun to use and have really different qualities that can make them useful in different situations. For example, the new Skullcrusher weapons absolutely rips and tears through crowds of enemies, and its variant allows for a more focused spread. I mean, just look at this and tell me it doesn't look beast. Critical said something in his review of this that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, that you only really need to use a couple guns. and that you don't really need to use any other. And he went through his playthrough with just the chain shot and the super shotgun. And I mean, sure, you don't need to use different weapons, but I think you're kind of handicapping your experience by just sticking to a couple guns. Now, what I will say is that the variants to some of these guns just were noticeably worse than their counterparts. For example, I never really used the Impaler, the Cycler, or the Grenade Launcher because their variants I found were just a lot better, and I do think that that is a fair criticism of the game. But then again, it may have just been the way I like to play these games. One thing that I'm pretty 50-50 on are the mech and the flying missions. They're fun for a one-off thing, but really aren't fleshed out enough to warrant multiple missions. They're not bad by any stretch, and it's fun sometimes, but it really does get repetitive the more you do it. The flying in particular gets pretty tedious and doesn't really serve a higher purpose other than the same as shooting and getting from one point to another. It doesn't ruin the game by any means, but the gameplay comes to a halt because of it. Something I wasn't a huge fan of in this game was how easy it was to just roll through some of the trash mobs. In other games, sure, they weren't hard to beat, but you still at least had to keep an eye on them. In this game, it's really easy to ignore these enemies because you don't even have to kill them at all, really. Once the bigger enemies die, they die along with them. And it might be a nitpick, but I like having to kill every single demon to finish a level. But on the other hand, one thing that this game beats the other Doom games by a sizable margin are the bosses and the bigger enemies. In 2016 and Eternal, the main bosses all really felt gimmicky in one note, and really, really annoying to fight in with the other demons. And I'm looking at you, I know, you motherfucker, I know who you are. Look at piece of shit. But with this game, man, they're just so beast, man. The super heavy demons are especially fun to fight because they're so fast, and on max game speed, it's a fucking ride. My two favourite super heavy demons are the Agadon Hunter and the Komodo. The Agadon Hunter feels like such a calculated and intense fight, especially when there are other enemies to worry about as well. And the Komodo is so fast and unpredictable that he really has to be your sole focus in a fight. My favourite thing about these two are, for lack of a better term, their aura. They both feel massive, and the Komodo in particular is such a different enemy type and a welcome change. Now, the enemies have always been good in the Doom games, but you can't really say that about the bosses. Both 2016 and Eternal have their fair share of bad or underwhelming bosses, with the Hell Guards and the Gladiator being the standout bad ones. But I don't think I could name you a bad boss from Dark Ages. I could give you an underwhelming one, I'll talk about you later, and other than that one I was talking about, they're all just so much fun to fight and require what felt like 10 full minutes of focus and sweating. But the most important thing, they're harsh, but they're fair. The only boss I've left out is the Alt one. So disappointing with all the hype that it built up throughout the game, and it's just a mech fight. Nothing more to it. There's nothing much to say about this one, it's just a bit boring and underwhelming given the build up. With all the ups and downs this game has, its highs most definitely outweigh the lows, and I would highly recommend this to anyone who is a fan of first-person shooters to 1, play this game, and 2, play 2016, and 3, play Eternal along with it. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm enjoying getting back to this kind of video, so yeah, if you like this, like the video, leave a comment if you want some more of this. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see ya.